Today, we're going to be talking about something that's pretty hot right now. We're going to be diving into the world of MLOps.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's a
specifically,
good one.
we're going to be looking at professional certifications
Yeah.
in this field.
Nice.
Yeah.
MLOps is,
If you're out there and you're thinking about maybe getting a certification in this space,
yeah.
this is the episode for you because we're going to be talking all about what it could mean for your career.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about what is Ansible. So today we are going to cover Ansible. So what is Ansible? Typically, when we talk about Ansible, everyone says it's a configuration management tool. Good. So we got the configuration management tool. But next question is, okay, tool means I understand using tool is, save time, save cost, and improve the quality of work. Okay, improve the quality of work. So save time in terms of what? How it will save time? So it will save time in terms of deploying, understand that deploying something in thousands of server parallelly. So it will save time. Save cost means how? Again, because the servers can do lots of server management work. So manual work can be avoided, and of course it will save your cost, engineers cost, effort cost, and overall it will improve the quality. But what is this config management? So here understand that config management is a very broad word. So when someone is saying, okay, config management, it can be database configuration, it can be AC configurations. So what configurations we are talking about? So when we say Ansible and when we say config management, we are talking about the servers. Mind it, servers config management. Okay. So that is something
Okay.
which we are discussing about. That means using Ansible, you configure servers S. Remember S, I put it separately. That means if you are managing one or two machine, not needed. But if you are managing hundreds of machines, you want to install something in hundreds of machines, then Ansible needed. You want to remove something, you want to install, you want to say change something, you want to configure something in hundreds of machines parallelly, then we use config management. I mean that then we need Ansible. Are you understanding?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that's the reason we call it Ansible is a config management tool. So using Ansible, you manage configuration configurations of servers. So now next question is what's there in the server? What's there in server? So server means your laptop. What you have? You have file, you have directory, you have package, you have packages, you have services, you have users, you have group, all these things, whatever you see in your laptop, that's the same thing you have in a server, right? You have CMD, you have APT, you have YARN, PowerShell, all this. So you want to modify the configurations of it, configurations of these resources. What's there in the server? So these are the resources we can call it. So we modify the resources of this in multiple servers parallelly. That's the reason we call it. And so it's a config management tool. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now that is the things. Now this tool is developed in Python. Okay, understand that. And they have a multiple release actually. So we have Ansible release, which is we have a Tower, we have AWX. Many tools are there. So Ansible is basically command line and free tool. Okay, whereas Tower is basically uh, UI tool and it's a paid one. AWX is also UI tool, but this is free. Okay, out of which this is the most popular one. This is for enterprise and all. So this is something which I'm teaching you right now. Okay, so this is the one. So
Okay.
now this is from the company whose company developed this product. So this company was Red Hat. The Red Hat is the company who developed this. Are you understanding?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now the question is how it works. How it works. And before that, why you need Ansible? Why Ansible? Next one is what are the other tools we have for that? Let's say if you don't like Ansible. So what we have? So Ansible, I'll not give you too much of a jargon. Simple thing. If you want to configure hundreds of server parallelly, I told you few times, parallelly, you can use Ansible. Now configuration is a very broad word. You can hear configuration means install, uninstall, copy, delete, this, that, hell lot of things you have. You can use Ansible. Okay, so it can be anything. Now what are the other tools we have? Other tools means we have a chef, we have Puppet, you have say Puppet, Ansible, Salt, we have Chef Engine also. So many products we have actually. So these are the things which you have. Are you comfortable?
Yes, yes,
Now
yes.
next thing is how it works. Basically architecture. So in the architecture, what you have human. This is you, and you will interact with the Ansible server, Ansible control server. Okay, what we call it? Ansible control server. In short, we call it ACS.
Yes,
And
yes.
ACS control multiple Ansible remote server. Okay, remote server, and this we call it ARS. Got it? So here multiple
Yes.
ARS, multiple ARS. So this guy control multiple ARS. Here I have put it S. You'll understand multiple ARS. Okay. So now in the here this ACS and then ARS. So ACS has to be Linux only. Mind it. It has to be Linux. ARS can be anything. Windows, Linux, Mac, anything. And so this is the here we have installed Ansible, not applicable. ARS, you don't need to install anything. Okay. Now, when you have ACS, when communication protocol, so what is a communication protocol? So when ACS talk to ARS, and if ARS is Windows, what is a communication protocol? So WinRM is a communication protocol. When it talks to the Linux, then what is a communication protocol? SSH. That's the reason you have Ansible command line installed here. Here you have nothing. That means we call it Ansible is agentless. That's the reason we call it agentless. That means there is no agent required for Ansible in ARS machine. Okay, so that is something which you have. Now in here ACS you have to have a Python. Most of the Linux machine you have a Python already. But if your ARS is Linux, then you need to have a Python. But if it is a Windows, ARS is Windows, then .NET and PowerShell you need it, which is default by the way in all operating system. Got it?
Yes, yes.
Now next thing is, okay, so what happens when you install Ansible in ACS? So when you install Ansible in ACS, you get one thing which is called, this is called component of Ansible. Okay, so this is a component of Ansible. So when you install Ansible, what happens? You have got executable, multiple executables you get it, I'll show you. Then you get modules, then you get plugins, and then you get config file. So each of these we need to discuss. What is executable, what is a modules, what is a plugins and config file. And then after that you have a one more component which we have is playbook. And there's one more component which we have is inventory. Okay. So these are the three things you have it. If you have where component of Ansible, so this is in ACS. All this thing will
Okay.
have ACS. Okay. In ACS.
Oh, okay.
Remember that.
Hmm.
So this we have to install it. and then you will understand that. So let's get it. How do we install it? So let's go for Ubuntu, and now you go to the Google, type Ansible install Ubuntu DevOps School. So you'll get my tutorial, and here. So this is Ubuntu. This is the tutorial. I will run it in front of you. So this is the one Linux box, and then install this guy also. Yes. And finally, I'm installing this one.
This we have to do in the virtual machine that I installed, right? That's what, like
Yeah,
Docker, I need to.
Ubuntu virtual machine. Everything for that you have to have a one virtual machines. So set up that VMs as soon as possible. Almost done. Just wait for a few seconds. Okay, so done. Now Ansible is installed. So let me show you. Ansible, enter. See, done. So now the question is, okay, when you install Ansible, you get executable. Where is that? So type which Ansible, and here ls user bin ansi star. See, these are the executable which you have. Okay. Now where is the modules? So just type Ansible hyphen version, and see the modules is here and here. Some modules are here also. And what are the plugins? So here inside this directory only, you'll have a plugins. And what is the config file? So this is the config file. Here you have. Do you see config file locations? Here it is. So what is modules? What is plugins? What is config file? This we need to discuss actually. Okay. So we'll come back to this one. But now what is a playbook? So playbook is basically your code which you need to write it. Okay. So this also I'll teach you. And then what is inventory? This also I'll teach you. So once you understand all this thing, you are good to go. Okay. So these are the
Okay. Okay.
components. So executable, you understood that these are the executable. So what is module? So module is a Python code. Yes. Okay, Python code. But what is a plugin then? Plugin is also Python code. So these all are Python code. Mind it, when I'm saying Python code, it's not like mandatorily. It can be different code also. If you customize it, you can write the functionality in Java also, or any other language, shell scripting also. But most of this, when I say Python code, is most of the modules are in Python. That's the reason generic I'm using. So module is also Python code, plugins is also Python code, and the file which I showed you, this is the configuration file. So what is a module then? So see here, module is something which run in ARS. Now what is ARS? You know that, right? Correct. ARS is a remote server which you want to configure it. So now
Yes.
plugins runs in where? So runs in ACS.
Yes. Mm.
Yeah, that means
Mm.
control server. So what is a module
Mm.
then? So module is something, a kind of code which you want to do in ARS. Example, copy. Copy is a module where you want to copy the file. Of course, in ARS, right? You want to start the service. That is also module. Where you want to do in
Like
ARS. You want to install some
ARS.
package. You want to install package. So where is this module? So go to the Google, type Ansible modules. 5,000 modules are there, so don't get lost. Here it is. Just get comfortable with it. Hell lot of modules are there. There's one URL for it here, no, and just spend 15-20 minutes here actually. And this is the module index page, which you have a directory and all. So get comfortable with it. These are the modules you have to use it. More than 4,000 modules are there. Modules is something which the code, which is a Python code run in ARS. So anything you want to do, please hear me out. I'm saying anything you want to do on ARS using Ansible, and for that you will have certain modules. Will you remember that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Now the question is, what is a plugin? So plugin is a Python code run in ACS. That means plugin is basically nothing but a feature of Ansible. That's the reason is there in in the the ACS. Now
ACS.
yeah, let me share with you. So here this is the package location. If you go
Mm.
inside this directory, see here, there's a plugins directory should be here. Here it is. Oh, no, here it is. Okay, so go to this
Okay.
plugin.
Mm.
Sorry, go to the plugins directory and see that
Mm.
there's these many plugins right now you have it. So let's go inside one of this. Let's say callback plugin. So these are the feature of Ansible. See the code, correct now?
Ansible. ACS,
Py,
right?
yeah, ACS, code, correct now?
Yes, yes.
But module is also Python code, but run in ARS. So it's like this. Now, what is a configuration file? So guys, here you have so many executables. I showed you so many executables are there. And in that executable, there are many settings which is hard coded. So you can't change executable because you have to build the whole things again. So if you
Mm.
want to overwrite some variables, then what to do? So if you want to overwrite them some variable, then you modify the config file. Yes, let me show you. What is this command? Ansible hyphen version, and this is the config file. So if you want to see here, this is the empty file right now, only one entry is there, but you can go to this file
Mm.
which is here and look at there's hundreds of entries, and each of these entries have a default explanations also in the commented. You should spend 5-10 minutes here also. Even though if you don't understand, spend time so you'll understand about it.
Okay.
Got it? So this is the
Yes, yes.
file. I repeat, the file which you are using is anything you want to override the executable behavior, you put it in the config
Config
file.
file.
It's a config file. This is the location for config file.
Okay.
So now you understood this. What exactly Ansible, when you install Ansible, what happens?
Mm. Yes, yes.
Okay, now next thing is, what is a playbook then? So in a detail, I'll discuss about the playbook because that is a very big topic. But something like a playbook is a kind of YAML file which contains module which to be run in where, in where?
ACS, sir.
ARS.
ARS, ARS.
Because
Okay.
ARS is a target server, right, where you want to do the changes. So I'm
Oh,
putting in
okay.
a very
Yeah.
simple way. YAML file
Mm.
which contain modules, the one which is running in the ARS, which has to be run in
Mm.
ARS. Simple. So this is a
Oh,
playbook.
okay.
Okay, so
It's
you can
just
say
like a
it's your
JSON, right? What
is a
has to
playbook
be
YAML file. It's like a script which you want to
a
run in
script. Okay.
ARS.
Okay.
Okay, so that is a thing. Now next thing, what is
Okay.
inventory then? So inventory is a list of IP address. I'll put it in very simple way. A file which has list of IP address of ARS. Understood?
Yes. Okay.
So,
Understood. Yeah.
yeah. So now I'll create an image to confirm your understanding. See here.
Mm,
This is you. Okay.
mm,
And then you
mm,
create one box which is called ACS. And
mm,
this has to be Linux. And ACS you
mm,
install Ansible. You got all this component which I discussed. And then you got a playbook and inventory
mm,
file. And
mm,
now what you say, hey Ansible, run this script on these all machines, and Ansible will
mm.
run parallelly in 1, 200, 200, all this parallelly. It will run. This is
Oh,
ARS.
okay. Okay.
Got it?
Yes, yes. Got it.
Yeah. So now what we need to do? So we need to have installed Ansible anyways. Now we need to
Mm,
write a playbook for it.
mm.
Got it?
Yes. Got
So
it.
this is something which we have to do. We have to create a playbook, basically
Mm,
scripting, and what you need to
mm.
do in server, and you need to do inventory also. So I need to create one file which has a IP address of the remote servers.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.